Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Just thought I would jump on live. I've not been getting on lives for a long time, so I thought I would just do a little update on what's been going on in my world over this course of this year. It's been turbulent as ever, but who wants a flat ride, eh? It's all fun and games. Some of you with an eagle eye might notice that I'm wearing work clothes, and that's part of the sort of little update. As many of you are aware, my business has been running for 6 odd years, the last 5 of which I've been off the tools and building the business, focusing on boiler installations, service plans and annual servicing. And things have been going great, over the last 5-6 years. We've grown, we've done some amazing numbers, year on year, fitting 150 plus boilers. And the core business itself was myself at the top, looking after the marketing, looking after the business side of things. And then I had a full-time office lady, a full-time lead engineer that in essence was a partner, apprentice, and a handful of subcontractors that would pick up work for us. And all during sort of 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23, the business was growing year on year and doing really well. And unfortunately, 7 months ago now, my office lady and lead engineer, effectively partner and apprentice, decided to quit. Obviously, there's 2 sides to the story, and I'm not going to go into the finer detail of what was right, what was wrong, who did what, but ultimately it was a very quick impact on the business. I basically woke up one morning and the whole business had lost its foundation. And so I was a bit confused with what to do, because Off the Tools had done so well over that period. It was my full-time, well, it still is my full-time occupation, is working with guys like you from all over the country, helping them build their businesses, building the infrastructure through technology and through coaching and mentoring and collaboratively with the lads in the group. And that is still doing amazing. That's growing and that's fantastic. But this update's really on what I've been doing myself. So when that obviously happened, the shit hit the fan, let's say. My first thing was to deal with the immediate. We had a few weeks work booked in, so I doubled down. I focused on just getting through those first few weeks. After that, I was a little bit confused with exactly what it was that I wanted out of this business. It's got a brilliant reputation, 1,200 plus reviews, thousands of customers, hundreds and hundreds of service plan customers. So it is a decent business. It produces decent profit. But I wasn't quite sure what to do. So I said to myself, all right, I'm just going to give it a couple of months. I'll look after my service plan customers. I won't really focus on, I'd turned off all the marketing, stopped chasing work and just sort of bunkered down to focus on the customers that were service plan customers. And that's what I did, over summer. Thankfully, it was a fairly quiet summer. So I know, obviously, from being part of these communities, a lot of companies across the country have had a big downturn this year, and it played into my hands, because it meant that I only had to do a couple of days going out, pottering around, subbing out a bit of work here and there, and that was what I was doing. And over that time, I kept saying to myself, right, let's look to sell it. Then I kept changing my mind. I couldn't settle on a decision for what I wanted out of the business. Obviously, I love the coaching. I love doing the off the tools stuff with all of the lads. It is literally like I don't work. I genuinely love every second when I'm doing that work. So obviously on that side, I've got all of that, all the pluses of that. I make good money from that. It gives me time and freedom, which is what I want. On the other hand, I've got this business, Your New Boiler, that is successful, doing well, got a great reputation, financially doing brilliant. So I sort of said, let's give it a couple of months and see what happens. That couple of months turned into a few more months, and it sort of, I had some conversations about selling it, but in the back of my mind, I've got, obviously I've got a young family, I've got 4 children. The eldest now is 18, and potentially, you know, he's at college doing other things, but potentially, obviously there's a decent business where you can earn a decent living there. So I started to steer away from selling it, and thought, okay, let's see see how my son is feeling about it. And obviously, like any 17, 18-year-old, they don't know what they want to do. I certainly didn't. I was just sort of ushered into plumbing and just sort of accepted it. Whereas I want to give my son choices. That's why we sort of pushed him into college to do sports and football and stuff, so that he could sort of live his passion more than just going to work and taking over from the old man. And that leads me up to the sort of last month, really. I've sort of fell back in love with meeting all my old clients, customers I haven't seen for sort of 4 or 5 years, getting out, speaking to people, you know, selling. I enjoy selling, so sort of being in the customer's house, talking to them about the solutions that we provide. And I'm still very confused. But as we all know, silly season is approaching. And it's left me in totally my fault. I've totally sort of neglected to make a decision. But ultimately, we're in the middle of October. The weather's dropping. I've got a couple of contractors and a couple of new ones have come on board. So it looks like I'm going to be able to keep momentum going. I've had a really successful couple of months with service plans. And again, I think that's part of the excitement I've got back for this business. But obviously there's a sacrifice with that, because if I'm involved day to day with this business, it puts pressure on off the tools. So I'm still fighting that conundrum, because if I could sort of have the ideal solution, I would find a local guy that is working for himself, that wants to come into the business as a de facto partner, and sort of take over the day-to-day, still manage, you know, the marketing, the finances and all of that side of things. So that's just a little plug out. If anyone is interested, in anyone in the Bedfordshire, Milton Keynes area that has got their own business, but maybe looking to grow that and push forward, please just drop me a message. I'm open to all options at the moment. Um, but yeah, I just really wanted to share how I've got sort of back excited about plumbing and heating, which I thought I'd lost it, you know, 4 or 5 years off the tools, not really dealing with anything other than the odd problem that cropped up, that couldn't be dealt with by the office staff or the engineer on site. Um, so yeah, so if you have fallen out of love with this industry, it may come back, because it certainly has for me. I've been probably the happiest I've been in the last couple of months for a long, long time, because I've got a bit of a purpose. I'm getting out. I'm still only going out a couple of days a week, because the majority of my time I need to be spending on off the tools, and that isn't going to change. You know, I am. I would just turn the work away rather than sacrifice the lads that have invested in me and off the tools and want to grow their business, because that ultimately is my passion, and it is something that wakes me up every morning full of hunger. But yeah, it's one of the reasons why I've been a bit quiet this year on the socials. Is just because I've sort of not really had any clear direction. And although I still don't necessarily have that clear direction now, I'm sort of more comfortable with the position I'm in, um, and I trust that a solution will come. And yeah, so that's really how Your New Boiler's doing. The numbers are massively down, obviously, having sort of 6 months with no marketing, only servicing and looking after existing customers. The numbers aren't great this year, but that's because there's been no effort, there's been no focused attention to drive it. So I'm not concerned, because we have hundreds, thousands of customers, so that workflow is still there, and it's still generating a profit. So that's good. But off the tools, is, like I said earlier in the video, is still going fantastic. We're getting new people join, but we're also keeping hold of people that have been in the program and in the group for year, 2 years, 3 years, and results are really starting to show, because I've always said what I do isn't sexy. You know, I'm not Joseph Valente. I'm not going to be driving around on a Range Rover shooting money off of, out of a cannon. You know, that's not me. It's not my style. I'm a real honest person. If I don't believe that, if I don't believe in it, I'm not gonna say it or promote it. So when I speak to when new people approach me about Off the Tools, and what we do, I tell them, look, mate, it's not sexy. It's slow. It's slow. It's going to cost you money. Obviously, not only paying me, but you're going to have to invest in other things like websites, marketing, um, assets like flyers, signs, you know, sign writing, all of the stuff. It's good, like, you know, it's not like 3 months and bang, off you go. You fixed your business and away you go. It's a slow progress, and most of the lads are taking 12 to 18 months to really see the benefits of working with me. And ultimately, it's not just me, because the community, the group, there's about 40 guys in it at the moment, and they come from all different walks of life. We've even got a few Sparkies. Yes, I know they do wear pink skirts on the nights out, but hey ho, what can we do? We have to accept that, don't we? But yeah, no, it's a mixed community. That we've got businesses that are turning over £1 million. We've got businesses that are just starting out. We've got businesses in between, and everybody in that community comes to the group open-minded, willing to share, willing to help. So I don't ever, and have never ever professed to know everything. So when one of the lads might come to the weekly Zoom call that we host, they might have a problem, and five of the other lads will be like, do you know what? I went through that last year, and this is what I did. And then we all sort of collaboratively bring it together. So if you're thinking of potentially joining Off the Tools, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. So make a decision if you want to sort of push your business and grow, and you accept that it's not going to be fast. It's not going to be sexy. There's going to be pain. It's going to be hard work. You're going to have to get in the trenches and deal with problems. Then, Off the Tools Alliance might be the place that can support you. There's lots of coaching and mentoring and stuff out there. And I believe that any coaching that comes from the right person with the right heart will be helpful. So I'm not trying to profess that I'm better than anybody, or that my results will be different. But I just believe in being honest and sharing that it may take a bit of time. But what better place to do that than a group full of other blokes all trying to do the same? So yeah, just a little update. Hopefully that explains maybe why I've been a little bit quiet, and why you might be noticing me in a bit of work gear. I'm just waiting for a quote, by the way. Arrived half an hour early, so luckily I went to Starbucks first, got me coffee. But yeah, if anyone's got any questions about what I do and what I'm doing, then please reach out. If anyone is more intrigued on what I've spoke about earlier with what's happened to the business and how it's doing, again, I'm an open book, man. Ask questions. I'm always willing to help. But that's it. I'll be on soon, lads. See you later.